I'll jump in to remind you to record.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Chaos mode play and Q&A stream. Nice to see you people in the chat already as we are warming up. And as soon as we get started, let me take this starting soon text away. Now we are actually going, and I made a poll here. You can find it in the chat. You can vote on which game mode we are going to be playing first.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll give it a few minutes before we start.
I'll have to obviously vote for my favorite mode. I don't know what my favorite mode is. I'll just pick Dynamic Dice.
Okay, let's bring up the lobby screen. There we go. So, who do we have in the lobby today? Let's see. We have Sora, Zomoroko, and Super Dragonite in the lobby. And we also have 4 spectators. We actually have full lobby. No, 3 spectators at the moment. Someone is not here. We also have Chioko, Press, and Bobberlington, our new QA staff member, I believe, in the spectator slots, and one more person. Oh, Fly is here as well, but one person is not in the lobby for some reason. We have 8 people in the voice chat.
Fly on the wall anyway.
I'm not sure which one of the spectators is not here, but anyway, that's our staff for the moment.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, hello.
I don't
Hi.
recognize anyone's voice.
So we're going to be starting in a few minutes after we get a good idea of which... well, let's say we start in 3 minutes. Meanwhile, feel free to ask any questions on Discord or Steam. In 3 minutes we are going to be seeing which is the most popular game mode for us to play, and then we'll find out who is the best player in that game mode.
Yeah, so make sure to vote in the poll to decide our fate.
Am I gonna win every game I join again?
Only one way to find out.
I have a 100% win rate in Dynamic Dice. It's a 2 out of 2, but you know, very good. Very big sample size. It's like my win rate with Castle.
We have 32 viewers already, not a bad start. And unlike last time, the stream is also getting recorded, so I will be posting it on YouTube later unless something goes wrong. It's a pretty tight race in the votes at the moment, but we have 1 more minute to see which wins. And yeah, we have a thread on Discord as well. You can join that as well if you are following from Discord. And we'll try to keep an eye on that as well for any questions.
There were a few questions in the suggestions talk. Only a few, but you know, it was there. I don't know.
Okay, let's see the poll results. It seems that the first game will be played on random. because that's currently in the lead. And that's fine by me. It's a good opening.
I'm surprised all of you had the restraint to not like spam ready over and over again or something.
Sora,
To, like,
please
flicker it
explain.
on
I
now.
chose random, but it says max extension here.
Strange. Well, this is embarrassing.
With a death present, no less.
I wonder if that could be one of my mods interfering with the text itself or something. No, it's
Selecting
here, okay.
random, then clicking the button.
Are you pressing the OK button?
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
not.
There you go.
Yeah, I
so
noticed you were
was it-
just selecting it and then closing out of the window. I was like, wait.
That seems like something to improve on.
Something overlooked.
Okay, then let's go.
Behold, a problem I would have never run into because I didn't know that you could right-click to back out of menus.
Honestly, it's one of the nicer features of the game.
You have no idea how long it took for me to figure that out. How many hundreds of hours I played the game before I learned it.
I mean, I was right there with Zoe when she discovered being able to use the scroll wheel when picking the map.
We
Ooh,
got
we got
100%
100%
mixed
mixed
juice.
2 HP, Nico.
Wild stats away, and I got terrible stats.
Wow, we have like Popo tier Tomomo stats. Oh man.
Tomomo.
Oh,
We have a
Nico is
question
even
from
more
Yeet on
squishy.
Discord. Could 4 Heavenly Kings become an alternate Kings and Fairies where it's that unit it's supposed to be with
Well, I'm
different
high with
passives
all
and
the
perhaps
friends.
specific hyper?
Nico is even more squishy.
Nico is 5 defense, she is 5.
I'm not sure how
She's-
that would really be related to 4 Heavenly Kings. Is my answer to the question.
I don't care if I have 5 HP or 5 defense. 2 HP sucks.
At least it's not 1 HP.
And you got negative evade.
So yeah, we are playing on 100% mixed juice mutator at the moment.
-5 attack.
I mean, I effectively have -3 attack.
Oh no, this is spoiling you.
attack, -1 defense, -4
I don't think I'm
evade.
killing this girl.
Oh no, this is spoiling the new Aru scramble changes in the next update. She's gonna have -5 attack. Yeah.
Thankfully, the mode was adjusted to the stats changed for a couple of chapters now.
Well, I don't think I'm dying in this reset. 9 hit points plus 5 evade.
And Nico remains with 2 HP.
Nice recovery, Dragon.
Yay, 1 recovery. Too bad I have +5 defense, so it negates most of my attack.
Why can't spectators do taunts? That'd be awesome. They would
Yeah,
all be
I
the
keep
chicken
asking
taunts.
for that. Yeah.
It would only be the chicken taunts because they all look like the chicken. in
How
the
is
corner.
the stream working for people? I see some people talking about stream buffering at the moment. Is it working fine for everyone else?
It's working fine for me.
It's struggling on my end, but
I see. That's interesting. I mean,
But
the
then
broadcast
again,
is
I-
actually pretty low quality when you do this stream broadcast, so I wonder why it would be buffering.
Oops. Did not mean to do that.
Chicken taunt briefing? Yeah, imagine someone plays like the Pikachu and there's just 8 people spamming chickens. That'd be awesome.
So, how has everybody been enjoying our April Fools this month?
I think this has been a great update overall, just because it adds a whole lot of fresh new game modes.
I think this might be one of my favorite update in general, honestly.
Yeah, super good. I've been having a lot of fun
This-
just playing around.
Looks at the giant multiplication sensation table on the wiki.
I like testing stuff.
This is one of the most high-effort April Fool's jokes. I love those type of April Fool's jokes.
Nice to hear that Jim and Lara have been liking the event.
Oh lord, I'm at +7.
Don't get hit.
Just high-effort April Fool's jokes for way more effort is put into it than it needs to be. Those are just some of my favorites. Like, there was one for a completely different game. Rainbow Six, I believe. They basically, turned everything colorful and made everything kid-friendly for an April Fool's event.
So now it would really be Rainbow Six.
Yes. And I think the hostage was a teddy bear. A giant pink teddy bear. Those type of April Fool's jokes were a lot of efforts put into it. They're just some of my favorites.
Yeah, Lahal says, I think 100% Orange Juice is silly enough conceptually, where April Fools is as much of a significant holiday as Halloween or Xmas, and yeah, we definitely tried to embrace the silliness this time around.
Oh no.
Chris is dead!
Press! No! You will be missed.
Anyone have a forced revival? Oh, never mind.
Press is alive! Yay!
You will be
Hi,
missed.
Press.
That's what happens when someone gets
Wario tried to
time
write me
available.
off.
You will be missed.
Steam might have some issue because it actually disconnected me for a second, so there might be a little glitch in the stream, but it's back now.
Level 1, but thankfully had the
I don't know
stats
what
to
that was
buff
about.
for.
It should be at Steam's end.
Oop.
Let's make sure
Evan
that the
attack
stream
rolls
is actually...
a 1.
Yeah, it's
I
running
feel
fine.
that.
It's kind of just the
Yeah,
law
that's my
of
luck in a
James, isn't it?
nutshell.
Just like the higher attack you have, the lower you're actually gonna roll. That's what it feels like.
And there was also a question on Discord from Popo Piledriver, who is asking, in addition to the organic percentage, I also need to know how physically strong Tomomo, Sora and QB are. And I've been thinking about this, it's a very interesting question. Sora is very strong physically, by nature. She has a very strong physical stats, and QB is also pretty much a super dog, and is very strong physically. On the other hand, Tomomo is only strong magically. She's actually very weak physically. But when you fight her as magical Tomomo, she is very strong thanks to the magical buffs.
A question that in the Discord that I think might have been skipped over was from Yeet. Could 4 Heavenly Kings become an alternate Kings and Fairies mode, where it's that unit's supposed to be with different passes and perhaps a specific hyper?
Yeah, I did read that out loud, and I said that I don't really see the connection to 4 Heavenly Kings, so that's all I can say on that. if anyone else has anything else to comment to that, go ahead.
Someone in Steam chat mentioned a monthly rotating mode could be interesting. Night of Light said that.
That could work.
I missed a question while my headphones decided to turn themselves off, but as I assume it was the question by Flying Fortress.
I was actually a little further up.
Okay.
Someone, Night of Light had said a monthly rotating mode could be interesting.
Like every month there's a different Chaos Mutator you can play.
Yeah, like a different Chaos Mutator each month.
Oh yeah, I totally missed that.
As for Flying Fortress's question, I don't think that would really be feasible. As fun as that would be, I think that would prove
That
too
sounds like a
chaotic
coding
in terms of
nightmare.
implementation.
I think we might be already stretching the limits of insanity in these game modes.
I mean, this mode alone is probably really pushing things with all the on-the-fly stat changes.
Oh yeah, I imagine this.
Gotta
I'm
respect.
glad I'm not a dev. I
Imagine
could
having to
not
test
imagine
that.
the code.
Imagine having to test like hundreds of possible combinations of mutators, literally.
I mean, we have Sora here. I'm sure they could say how much of a pain this was, because I'm sure there was.
Hang on. God dang.
Oh, I totally forgot I need to post the poll for the next game mode as well. So people can decide while we play.
And then it just becomes random every single time.
It's possible,
As
but
nature
that's
intended.
their prerogative. And here is the new poll. Make sure to decide our suffering. Whoops. I thought I was still on my previous stats. I don't think I'll survive this somehow. 1 hit point -5 evade.
Easy dodge.
That may not have been the best decision I made in this game.
I'll be back in a moment. I got a large delivery of root beer, and I need to carry it in.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh yeah, King asks in the chat, when are we getting Tomomo leg day?
Concern? Question mark.
It's required. Tomomo leg day.
Someone needs to make that happen.
Yeah.
Mio, Tomomo, and Popo go to the gym and have a workout contest.
Does Popo even have legs? I don't think it's possible for Popo to do leg day.
She'd run on all fours. That's my headcanon anyway.
Popo
Yeah,
is
there's a
Goomba.
hamster wheel in there.
Yes, exactly. There's a hamster wheel.
Why? What were you saying?
Huh?
What were you saying?
Popo is a Goomba.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were saying they're a Kirby.
Oh
but
yeah,
that
it was
works too.
very relevant.
Yeah, I was.
If you don't play 100% orange juice right now, you're gonna turn into a Goomba!
That sounds like Mio mixed with Kamek.
Hello, Sarah. Popo with a bodybuilder body and a tiny head. I need to see some fan art of that.
That sounds terrifying, Sarah, and I want to see it. Artists get on that.
I swear I have seen that.
Goombo. The new DLC, Buff Popo, who is voiced by Sarah.exe. Instead of using Ubiquitous, she just like grabs you and shakes you upside down and all your money falls out.
Why do I hear Pillar Man music?
Oh yeah, let me also see if the stream is actually visible on the Steam page as it's supposed to be. I don't actually see it, although the event should be live, and this time I actually checked the correct checkbox to make it visible on the broadcast page. Let's see if I can figure that out. Like it should be visible on the Steam page when you open it, but I'm not seeing it.
You can find it through the You can find the link through the announcement post at least. I know that much.
Of course, but it's supposed to actually be visible on the game's page when it's live. Otherwise, it's kinda hidden on Steam.
Seems a little weird in that regard.
Yeah, it's enabled at least. Is the event live on Steam? Did I mess up the timestamp? Where do you see that again?
Oh no, poor Zoe.
This event is published. Yeah, the time is correct as well, so it should be live. The broadcast is enabled, but I don't see it on the Steam page. This stuff is always very obscure. So that's quite unfortunate. I guess I'll have to read more documentation of this stream to figure out why it's not visible. Thoughts on Zero? Is he a good pilot? On Discord, Zephyr the Dragon Lord says, another thing about what Chaos mode is, this whole thing seems very fun for people to just playtest very wild and crazy modes, so while I don't necessarily want a new norm, it would be nice to just have something like this every once in a while. And yeah, I think considering people have been liking this, I'm sure it will make its return later.
It's definitely a lot of work, and it'd be a shame to have it only be a one-off.
This is not looking very good. Why is everybody bullying the bunny?
Of course. +5/+5, so effectively. Well, I guess the defense came in handy there.
No worries there. So how is the spring going for everyone in the parts of the world where they're having a spring?
Sorry, did you say spring or stream?
Spring.
Oh, very pleasant. You know, cold is finally going away. Cold is unfriendly, unfeeling.
Yeah, I hear you there. I wouldn't mind that happening here as well.
I'm very fond of greenery, and it's nice to see things coming back to life.
Yes,
I
indeed.
definitely
I'm
prefer
glad to see
green
the
to
world
grey.
turning to green.
This is like the
Oh,
first
Lord,
year
this
in
guy.
my life where I ever lived in anywhere snowy, and it's like that now that it's finally over. It's like, wow, I can hardly
Wow,
believe
that's
it.
some nice
Boss.
attack.
It's not super cold anymore. There's no boss.
Sarah says it's nice and warm here, tons of flowers. That sounds very wonderful. I actually have like the first flowers in my backyard now, but overall it's still like super snowy around. Only the places with direct sunshine and no shadows are getting some little growth. We are having an extremely long and cold spring.
Oh yeah, Sarah, same here with the pollen. It was extremely high yesterday. Oh, come on.
That's some good defense as well. But that's a wrap for the
Everyone's
first
on, like,
game,
the same
unfortunately.
space.
It worked, though.
Little did you know that my actual goal was just to stop on this tile.
Sarah lives through other people's snow posting. Well, that's probably a lot nicer than living through the snow itself.
I just realized the lobby's full, so we can't switch out.
Well, we
mean-
can, but someone needs to leave the lobby and rejoin.
Horrible. Then you have to make them type the password again.
Monstrous.
Speaking of passwords, did you notice that we added a new feature to actually hide the password exactly for this kind of situations where you are streaming, so it's kinda easier to manage who gets in and who gets out.
Quite useful.
So is anybody swapping?
Okay, I'll leave so you can all swap.
Meanwhile, I'll see what the poll says for our second game. Wow, it's random again with an even bigger overwhelming majorities this time.
Everyone just wants chaos.
Let's go with the random field as well.
Chaos, chaos.
Chaos Popo.
I can do anything. Obvious reference is obvious.
Flying Fortress says, nothing says chaos more than random. Well, this is true. This is true. And either way, there are so many modes that we can't play through all of them anyway in this session.
We'd be here all day if that were the case, if we were...
Pretty much.
The only like 2 play sessions I've ever had in Chaos mode were just basically going through every single mode. It took like 7 hours or something each. I basically just stayed up the whole night playing Goche. I did it twice. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, Zoe was there for both of them too. Oh no!
Panel
Ocean dive!
shuffle. Panel shuffle.
Panel
Oh,
shuffle
yeah.
on Ocean Dive.
That's gonna make for some interesting pathing.
Have fun.
Why do you have Ocean Dive in your random choice? How could you?
Why don't you?
Yeah,
It's
that's
a-
the
it's a-
question.
It's the worst map in the game. That's my opinion.
That's not Treasure Island Day.
Okay, Treasure Island Day also sucks, but it's not as bad as Ocean Dive. It's suffering. You're playing Sherry, how could you ever lose?
By virtue of not being Peter Popo.
Peter Popo?
Peter
good lord.
Popo picked a peck of pickled peppers. Can't come up with anything more clever than that fast.
Yeah, there was a question by Severed Dragon Lord. How often or seriously do Doge devs look in the suggestion chat? And Sora answered that on the Discord for some reason instead of in the chat. So he says he's checking it daily, and of course not all suggestions can be accepted, but a lot of them do get read by several developers.
Peter Popo pilfered a pile of pink peaches. There's an alternative tongue twister for you.
Still should be star related, so perhaps pulsars?
No, you gotta put pudding in
There
there
you go.
somewhere.
Oh, of course.
Oh, here come the animations on the stream.
Question from Mage over in the Discord. How do you feel seeing all the suggestions about keeping Chaos mode? Chamois mode.
Novomaru says there's a lot of double or 2 times panels, and that does seem to be the case. interestingly. All those double damage panels.
You must keep it so you can fix the bug when max extension doesn't work with malt properly.
Honestly, with the way extension works in the max extension mutator is actually pretty reasonable, all things considered. Like a middle ground between that and how it normally works might be a interesting change.
I don't know about that, mostly just because of how pretty much nothing in this entire mode has any sort of character-specific balance in it. So it's like, that'd be kind of weird.
Well, the reason I mention that is because in normal play, max tension doesn't see a whole lot of use because it's a Norma 4 card that has varying use depending on what it pulls. If it were lower, like Norma 2 or 3, there might be more advantage to using it because you can afford the risk.
I feel like extension is I don't know. I feel like I still see it decently often just by virtue of it being fun, even if it's not the most viable thing.
Oh, I think I finally figured out why it's not showing on the Steam page. There was one more hidden option.
Oh my
might have
goodness, we've been
fixed it
having this
now.
issue for like every dev stream so far. You're telling me we finally figured it out?
Well, not all of them. Like, I remember, at least on the first one, maybe on the second one as well, it was on the Steam page.
You found the button hidden underneath the napkin.
Let's see. Store page. I'm still not seeing it though. It might be something that needs to be done before the broadcast actually starts, I'm not sure. Or maybe there's some delay.
Question from Sarah.exe. Is there a new map in the works, by the way?
Ah, no, it actually shows up on the Steam page. Cool. Okay, now I know. There are actually so many steps to getting the stream set up on Steam, it's pretty crazy. Like, in addition to allowing it on the event itself, which is the Steam announcement, I also have to whitelist myself for streaming it for every one of these streams that I do.
That seems a little backwards. Did you hear the question that I had to write out?
I missed that, sorry.
It was from Sarah.exe. Is there a new map in the works, by the way?
Right. New map. It has been a while since the last map that was added. To be honest, it doesn't take that long for me to make new maps. It's more of an issue of the other resources that it takes to make a map, like all the backgrounds and stuff like that. All the cute animations. That's why we don't add them too often. But I think it would be a good time to add another one soon.
I think training program is my favorite field background.
It's pretty cool, yeah. I think that was the first one where we added like 3D to the background.
Yeah, not
Tony
only
did
3D,
it.
but it also even has an animation for when the boss shows up, which I
Yeah.
don't think any other map has had up till this point.
Training program, yeah? Or was that
So
what
wait,
you were talking about?
you said that you make
That's
the
the one I
maps,
was
sir?
talking about.
Sorry.
I don't think any other-
I make
Sorry,
most of them. We had a few of the co-op maps were made by Jet, but I made pretty much all of them new maps. Like, not the backgrounds and stuff, but like just the map designs. Sarah says, stop making them so big, I get lost. Yeah, the size is one of the big considerations. There are like kind of like a limited number of different designs you can do with the current tools, and that's why I kind of want to get like different panel options when we add new maps to make it more interesting. I have a few ideas that I would like to get added to add some spice to maps, so maybe we'll see one of those sometime soon.
If you're getting lost in the big maps, just bring a map for your map.
Oh yeah.
Mapception.
And we also have a... Let's see, I think I missed some other stuff as well. Novamaru is asking, haven't really played him much, but does setting a battle card as trap count? Oh, I guess this is about Malt. Yeah, I guess this is about Malt. Does setting a battle card as trap count toward trap card challenges or battle card challenges, or is it both? Well, that's a pretty technical question. I'm not 100% sure.
Would Sora know, maybe?
I really
It's
love
a
all
hard
the
interaction
questions.
just to know off the top of your head.
Yeah.
I really love all the questions that come out of making messy mechanics, like we're just messing around with everything. It's so fun, I think.
And to think that's how the dash came about in Bomber Jam, was just messing around.
It's a really good game to mess around in.
The dash mechanic with Helena, the best thing I've ever discovered.
That reminds me, Flat, are you going to make another poll?
Oh, didn't I do it yet? I guess I didn't post it, I think I made it.
For a second, I thought you were talking to me, and I was very concerned.
Here's the new poll for deciding which one we are going to play next. By the way, we are going to be streaming for 2 hours, so there's still time to play a few of these. We have been going for 45 minutes now. Lahar is having some disagreements with Sora's playstyle as Nakro Halena. Novamaru says, Vince Norma Halena is the way to play. Indeed, indeed. Flying Fortress says, there was that bounty hunt survey months back. What kind of changes can we expect, and is there an ETA for it? It's something we are actively looking at, and the rework should be coming like relatively soon. There's no ETA for it, but it's something that we are looking at this spring. So hopefully like kinda soon. And what kind of changes can we expect? Well, I don't want to say too much about that yet, because none of it is final at this point. We are planning to have like a beta period where people can test the different changes, and we can see like if it feels like it's in a better place after those changes. So at the moment, just like stuff that we are planning just to see the reactions to. But there will be like some changes that are aimed basically at giving it more variety, in the sense that it will be more sensible, more reasonable to fight bounties, and it's not like simply a matter of doing quests as a matter of course, without also increasing the game's playtime. Like, that's the challenge. We don't want to make it slower by just nerfing quests. That's not the goal, but we want to like make the bounties more viable and interesting at the same time.
There are definitely a range of ideas to think about and select from, possibly with accompanying risks. So some that are like possibly more significant will require like better testing period for sure, for gauging feedback. But there are some that are simplistic enough that they're a good idea to go through with, and just offer to improve the gameplay as a whole, really.
Yeah, some of the things that... Yep, go ahead.
Oh, and yeah, looking into certain problems and seeing how to rectify them is definitely part of the plan. Like, for example, people repeatedly voice, rightfully, about how there's this disparity between hunting requests and hunting for bounties. And there's always questions like, inspecting the dynamic, how we want to adjust it, how we want to improve it. And we look at anything that seems a little underutilized too, maybe we'll improve that as well. So a lot of it's in the air, but yeah.
Alright, Short Ass started going to read the Q&A thread in the Discord at the end, and yeah, we have a thread that we are reading on Discord at the same time, but actually that question was about a thread that they made like beforehand. We didn't actually mean like make a thread beforehand and have questions there, so I kinda completely overlooked that. But let me see if there are any questions that have been written, if I can find it. Like, when I talked about the thread earlier, I just meant that I'm going to be making a thread for the stream, which I made now.
Speaking of that thread, Sora has been busy explaining some of the modes that didn't make it into the final release. And so if you want some interesting insight as to things left on the cutting room floor, go take a look.
Well, I should read some of that stuff for the benefit of the stream, so let's see. Yeah, there are some modes that didn't make it in, that Sora has been explaining, so let me go over those. First one was bring down the tank. As the name says, it was mostly a 3 vs 1. Didn't make it in due to balance concerns, and the work needed to make a 3 vs 1 to work. Because it's gonna have, like, of course, big issues. Like, one KO card would end the mode already, basically.
I'm just looking to that thread right now, and I just noticed that I had my response in Steam pasted in response to Jim.
And another one was called Feroz, which transformed you into Aurora. The unit picked at the deck screen would be taken by a bot, and you need to help your bot to achieve normas. You cannot norm on your own. And it was replaced and reworked in the current Knight and Fairies. Because it was a bit overcomplicated for what it would achieve. And it had some issues with the AI as well. Another mutator was called Popomania. It would transform your unit temporarily into Popo every 2 to 10 chapters for 2 chapters. And interesting, that one got cancelled because of performance problems. Like, the game didn't like swapping units mid-game that often.
The joys of using a very old engine. Who swatted the fly?
The heck, man?
Jim is asking, does it mean that 4 Heavenly Kings and Fair Bully Zone aren't scrapped ideas? I think that Fair Bully Zone was a scrapped idea. I remember seeing that before. I don't actually remember which mode that was supposed to be though, so I'm not sure why it was scrapped specifically. And yeah, 4 Heavenly Kings was something I just added for the announcement because it sounded funny.
Unfortunately, you got a lot of people really excited about that.
Yeah, on April Fools, I found out that there was a thing you could do where if you change the language of your game, you could make it look like you were playing a mode with any name in the lobby selector. So I made a lobby with the name with the mode called 4 Heavenly Kings.
Yeah, short. I couldn't find that old thread, so if you have any questions there, just post it in the current thread and we can go over them.
There was someone. I think there was a screenshot posted of it earlier. I'll go I'll repost it. Here, I posted in the Discord again. Just the thread. Yeah.
Let's see. I sort of had a question about Kickstarter for plushies and what may be on there. Well, I can comment on the ETA a little bit more than last time. There has been a pretty good development, and actually the prototypes are finally finished. The final prototypes accessory was finished this week. Yes, I'm almost tempted to say this weekend, but it's hard to keep track of days, so maybe that's not correct. But it was this week for sure. And Steam disconnected the stream for a second again. I'm guessing it's reconnecting. But they probably lost us for a few seconds. Let's see.